Welcome to Software Shenanigans.
For our second tutorial in the use of modifiers. Alright, let's go.
Just for anyone who hasn't used Word before, if you're looking for the save, the new, the reset feature, or the open, they are up here. There is no file open in Macs. You have to click the little logo, and here are your options. They're all the same as if you would have in Word or PowerPoint, so most of us should be very familiar or comprehensive with the
comprehensive.
Thanks.
Alright, just get on with the modifier tutorial.
Right, let's make a box, shall we? We covered this last time. Just click drag. Right. If you look over here, these are the parameters. While the object is still in its object mode, which is before we've converted it, you can change the object size by affecting the parameters here. Height, width, length. We can also adjust the segments, which are
transported to edged faces to see the different in the perspective view.
Right, let's go edged faces. Do you have an obsession with edged faces? There we go. These add geometry to the shape. We won't be doing that with this one.
If you want to know how high poly your model is, if you go to the keyboard and tap 7, you'll get the polys and the verts, and it will also give you a recording of your current frame rate.
That's a pretty high poly cube.
Yeah, I'm not going to unwrap that.
Alright, if you right click the object and go down to convert to and convert to editable poly, this will turn the object into editable poly mode. This means we can alter the object shape and distort the geometry. See what I did there? I did a gun noise. It's awesome.
You are too easily amused.
Why aren't you dead?
Just do it.
Right. Verts. Verts are the little blue points that are in the middle of connecting lines. When you highlight them by clicking and dragging over them, or just by clicking them, they will go red. This shows you which verts you have selected. You can select as many verts as you like. Press W, and you can move them the same way you move the object. And look, Owen, I made a sloping roof. Are you happy? There we go. That's verts. The next thing is edges. Edges are what are between verts, and we can move them in the same way. We can also scale and rotate them. Next, we're going to cover polygons. Polygons either come in tries, which are 3 connecting lines, not 4, but we mostly work with quads, which are 4 connecting lines, and the face in the middle is called the poly.
The reason is we work with quads better because I think it's because UDK generally renders in quads rather than polys, so making sure that
tries. Try. Is it renders in polys, no matter which?
Well, yeah, but if you do it to quads instead of giant polys, then it works better apparently, or something like that. So it's easier just to have quads than it is tries or polys.
Quads and tries are polys.
What? That's the same thing. You know what I mean.
Anyway, what he said.
Element selects the whole thing.
Everything. Selects every polygon, edge, and vertex in the scene.
Remember to take poly and delete a face and show them what rim does.
I beg your pardon? I beg your
How
pardon?
you understood that is probably not how they understood that.
Show them how rim. Where is?
Click poly.
Where? Okay. Show me. Where is the rim tool?
I don't know. It's right next to the magical sunshine, possibly, like you said once.
Wait.
There.
That's the rim tool, is it?
The rim of a hole. Fine. Border, rim, whatever. That.
The rim tool, everybody.
Tap it. Continue.
Alright. Down here we have the edits.
Borders.
Well, edit is actually for every single selection type, but at the minute we're going to do with border, and the one we're interested in is cap. Cap will put a face. Anyway, cap.
Shut the door.
cap will put a face between all the lines that have been bordered. There we go. Right, let's go on to some connects, shall we? Connects add geometry to a shape after you're in the edit poly mode. If you have to select all the edges in one direction to actually produce connects, or else you get n-gons, which are bad. An n-gon is a shape which doesn't make sense. It has more sides than lines, effectively. So if you go up here, you can click ring, and ring will select all of the edges within that
direction.
Within that direction. There we go, like so. See, it's selected all of those.
But left the outside ones alone.
Ring, on the other hand, will loop, sorry, will do them in the other direction, and it will be not every edge that is directly parallel to it, but every edge that it's connected to on the same level. So if we loop that, it won't do anything because we actually don't have any that are
unedited already. So just go like loop.
Oh, I know what we'll do. We will ring this, and then we'll go down to connect. Click the little box to the side of connect, and it comes up with this. Segments is how many connects you want, how many times you want to split the object, and the pinch, which
would only work if you have more than one.
If we have more than one, and the slide will move the connect up and down the model. This is very good if you are doing an object which is not a uniform size all the way up, because if you try and move that connect or those lines by hand afterwards, it will distort the geometry, as I will now show you. As you can see now, it goes up and down without affecting the shape at all. If I click yes, the tick to select it, or the X to cancel it, if I now move this line, the geometry is now distorted. It bends with the movement of the shape.
This doesn't, if the object is non-uniform, however, if it is just basic, like if it was a cube, you could move those lines with ease. It wouldn't distort the geometry.
Right, I'm going to select this line, and then I'm going to try another loop, and you see it's looped all of those edges around. So I'll click it again, and loop, and it is now looped. Now we're going to talk about extrude. When you're in face mode, if you go to this little box next to extrude, it will add 5 more faces, or as many faces as there are edges on the object. So the object, the selected poly. So if it's a tri, it will extrude 4 faces. If it's a quad, it'll extrude 5. That's 4 sides, 1 top. You can change the height of the extrusion by this little slider here.
You can also push it inside.
You can go in negative. You can put it inside if it was like a door.
Yeah.
If you made a door or a window,
but not a non-uniform object. It looked a little too. Let's see where the polys are scripting.
Yeah, you don't do that for ununiform. Then we have the selection type. We have group,
which is by default.
Well, I'll cancel this, and I will select more than one by holding Control and then clicking the face next to it. Extrude. Group will extrude them. Well, extrude them equally, both at the same extrusion level. We have local normal, which extrudes them. However, this is mostly good if you have, say, a cylinder and you're extruding all of the. I'll show you.
All the surrounding faces in one go. If you do it by normal, it surrounds them as each single face and produces tons of extra geometry.
I will show you that in a minute. And the final one is by polygon, and that extrudes both faces individually. If I can actually click it, your computer's running a bit slow, I mean.
No, you're just going off on the left. You got to keep it on the fucking menu, bro.
She's dying.
She's not fucking dying. She lives. She's being reborn.
As you can see, it has now extruded it separately. There we go. I will now show you. Actually, there's one more thing I can show you before we do that. To get out of edit poly mode, you see where it's highlighted up here, the little cube in the corner. If you click that, you're now in object mode again. Let's just make it a cylinder. Convert to.
You should have downed the faces, bro.
I need the things. So if I select one, hold shift, select another, it will ring, like we did with the edit.
Show them grow and shrink as well, just to be on the safe side. They're simple tools, not really. Yeah, shrink nothing. Select one, hit grow. Kind of selects all the polys around it. It's kind of good if you're using soft selection as well, but
If I select one,
yeah,
it selects all the connecting ones next to it. Shrink does the opposite.
yeah, we'll talk about soft selection another time. The only reason I can see soft selection being useful is the creation of chains or
Handles.
terrain.
Handles.
Not really.
Okay, we extrude, and I will now show. So this is extruded by group, and this is the local normal. It's all extruded evenly and outwards.
Might as well do by local as well, just to be safe.
That's what I just did.
No,
Local
no,
normal.
No, go down. By polygon.
By polygon.
Boom.
They're all split. Right. Whoop. Woo. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to show you is inset. Inset is very good if you are making windows or doors, for instance.
Chambers on rifles. I had to add something interesting.
Thanks, man. Inset basically extrudes inwards on the same level as the polygon itself. So it's not extruding out or in, it's extruding inwards on the poly itself. There we go. And then we'll extrude that inwards to make the most weird looking window ever.
Alice Madness Returns would love that.
Right. I'm going to just cover one more thing here, and then Owen is going to cover chamfering.
Actually, can I cover bevel as well, actually, and bridging?
Alright, you can cover those two. I'm just going to cover flip. Faces that this stumps so many people, and I have had to help so many people with this.
I figured it out.
Faces that are glowing are facing towards you. If I flip that, they go dark. These faces are facing away from you and will not appear on a render.
Render it just to be certain.
Alright, I'll show you what a render is. A render is an image. It basically takes a photograph of whatever is in the scene. So if I click the render button here, that's what I've got in the scene. And if I hit flip and render it, as you can see, it can only see the faces in the front here are invisible, but it will see all the faces that have been moved around. There we go. See, all the front faces have disappeared, but all the back faces are still showing. So if I flip that again, so all the ones are glowing, they've reappeared. There you go, Ian. Have fun.
Alright, we got. Alright, I'll make mine quick because I don't know how much more space we can have on this tutorial. Okay, first off, let's just get rid of this. Go back to this. Right, so we've got a box. Let's create a box. Right, so here we go. Let's create a couple of length segments, a couple of width segments, and some height segments. Right, yep, there we go. Done. Right click, convert to editable poly. Right, so if we select this face here, so say you're designing a model and you kind of can't, you know, you want these two here to be linked, you could just cap this, but if you've got two edges that are parallel, yeah, of sorts, yeah, you can just click bridge and it'll make a polygon face between them. However, it won't link it to this edge up here as far as I know. Has it done that one? No, that one's working actually. First time ever. Yeah, so that's kind of like bridge. Sometimes you can get some difficulties with it, and there's like you get your segments. I can't remember what taper does. Why isn't that
Taper,
one?
it makes it narrower and thicker at different ends.
Yeah, but that's only, yeah, won't on that. That's too uniform, I think. But yeah, you don't really need to worry about any of these. I've never actually had to use this. I just click the button and it does it. What else we got? Inset you've covered, bridge you've covered. Bevel is a lot like extrude, only once you bring it out, once you let go of the mouse button, you can then move the mouse to kind of decrease the size, bring it together, or increase it outwards. Also, if you bevel it like that, and then you double click again, it'll just do a base extrude. I tend to use bevel over extrude all the time. It just works easier for me. Oh yeah, here's a nifty little trick for you. If you delete, hold on, yeah, if we get these two here, hit connect, get a middle one, delete this, select that, then hinge from edge, 180, segments 12. Nifty little thing here, pick from hinge. These are just some of the things that I've learned from these on here. I don't actually know what these two do. I'll have to learn that part. But yeah, pick here, and you can create like a link of sorts, little smooth dome. door handle sort of thing like that. Tick, delete the inside poly, and then weld. You didn't cover welding, did you? We've got to cover welding. Weld. 56, 54.
Explain what you just did.
Oh yeah, well sorry, yeah, so extrude from hinge creates this. Remember to delete, when you do this, there's like, it creates like a little poly on the inside. Delete that, because you won't be able to weld with it. What else would you have me cover again?
Welding, you need to tell them, you just select the...
Alright, okay, welding is when you bring two verts together, or more, depending. So if we've got these two verts here, would it work? Would it do it straight away? No, it won't. Yeah, too far apart. When you want to weld verts, you've got to generally bring them like almost point blank to each other. Hit that. 54, 54, nothing's changed. Increase threshold. 54, 53. Good way to measure it. Nifty little tip. When you're welding, always try to do it with a wireframe mode, because sometimes you might accidentally select some verts in the background that you don't know about, and then it'll just really mess it all up, and you won't even notice until like you turn around and go, oh great, screw that one up. We've covered connect. What else was there? We haven't got a lot of time left. Chamfering! Single-handedly the best way to add smoothness and extra geometry.
As Owen would call it. Chamfering.
Oh yeah, chamfering. I love it. Right, chamfering is kind of where you take like a straight line edge like this, and we can smooth it out a little. Tap that, and you get chamfer. So you can choose like how much of a chamfer you get. Good for kind of taking that straight line hard edge off. Increase the segments, you kind of increase the smoothness, so you start to see where it kind of comes in useful. Yeah, that's pretty much works there. Oh, you can do an open chamfer as well, so you can see inside. It's a good way to just kind of delete the faces, but I've never used that in my life. Right, tick them out. What else was there? Chamfer, target weld. Oh yeah, nifty little trick actually I did pick up. If you select an edge and then click chamfer on it, you can turn it into more edges. Lots of extra geometry, so be careful how you use this. But by default you'll just create another line. It'll just be a good way if you've got one edge, instead of having to connect two lines again, or you've made a mistake, just chamfer one line and you get two. Nifty, neat little way of doing it. Alright, I think we've covered pretty much everything. Oh yeah, remove. If you've got, say, I think we could probably do this line here. If you've got an extra edge in there that you don't actually need or want, just click remove and it goes away. Shortcut key for that is backspace. So backspace does the same thing. Also does it to verts. So just remember, when you delete a line, or an edge, sorry, the verts will remain, unless they're linked up to something else, in which case they need to stay. But you might have like a random vert just floating in the middle of your edge. Highlight, backspace, same principle applies. Have we got everything else? I think we've got everything else. Yeah, I think that's everything in there. Using these is... oh, collapse. I know this one. I know collapse, actually. Yeah, same principle. Highlight, collapse, creates one.
It's basically weld.
Yeah, it's weld, but it works indefinitely. Like, I think I use collapse now over weld, and I only use target weld these days. I use detach on that. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. No. Cut. Click one vert.
And then click another vert.
And you get an edge, sorts. So yeah, nifty little thing like that. Hold on, is that?
An extra vert.
Yeah, it's created an extra vert. Just weld them, really.
Right, and that's everything.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to worry about.
Everything before he goes into everything.
Oh yeah, quick slice creates loads of extra little bits and pieces. You can just kind of really dice up a mesh. Great for using ground stuff. But yeah, I don't think we can cover anything else. We're running out of time, aren't we?
So this is the basic tutorial. You went into everything.
Hey, people out there need to know the advances as well. Alright, so yeah, that's our second tutorial by Owen Smith and Chris Rose, by Serious Software Shenanigans. And we look forward to putting a new tutorial up soon. Take care. Alright, minimize max and close it.
Ow!
Stop screwing around with the basic shapes again.